OTAs have started and TJ Watt hasn't showed up yet. And now his brother, JJ Watt, goes on the Pat McAfee show and reveals the sad truth about TJ Watt's contract situation. And apparently, he's already been given an offer by the team, but it's not good enough to him. Also, the Pittsburgh Steelers have cut one player from their roster. But first, before I get more into what JJ said, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also, like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, as we all know, 5 days ago, OTAs have started. And even though they're voluntary as of right now, TJ Watt has not shown up. But there's rumors going on that even in June, when mandatory minicamp starts, TJ Watt will pay all the fines and he will skip out on those. So, since those are the rumors going on, let's look at what JJ Watt had to say about TJ Watt's contract situation and why it's not so good right now. He went on the Pat McAfee show and said this: "I have a lot of information on that subject. That's not my subject to discuss. Ownership and front offices obviously treat this like a business, but they don't like it when the players flip the script on them and treat it like a business. Reward your players earlier and reap the benefits in the long run. Dragging it out not only ends up costing more, but it creates unnecessary tension. The longer you wait, the higher the price." End quotes. So, there you have it. JJ Watt speaks on TJ, his little brother, and he's basically speaking for him. And what he's saying in this quote is basically, hey, we're going to treat this like a business. Since he didn't get paid earlier, since he wanted to wait all this time, and he has to hold out for you to give him a new contract, we're going to treat it like a business, just like how you're treating it like a business. And we're not going to take a pay cut. TJ's not going to take a pay cut. He's going to go for the most he can get. And the price is only going to get higher. So you better hurry up and make a deal happen. That's basically what he's saying to the Pittsburgh Steelers and to everyone that's listening about TJ Watt's contract situation. And it's kind of true, because if the Steelers did sign TJ Watt last season or at the very start of the offseason, they could have got a deal done early and had him under contract for a decent amount, probably way less than $40 million per year. But now, because all the other players around the league like Myles Garrett, Danielle Hunter, and many more players signed for huge contracts, TJ Watt's number goes up because now he's going to want to top all those guys because his performance on the football field in terms of numbers has been better than all those guys that got paid this offseason. So he's going to want the highest paid money in the entire NFL at his position. So all the other guys got paid, and TJ Watt's market gets set at a different level. But if he signed earlier, then he could have beat out all those guys. The Steelers could have beat all those guys who got signed, and TJ Watt's contract number would have been way lower. So like JJ said, if you pay them earlier, you reap the benefits in the long run. But the Steelers didn't do that, and now TJ Watt's treating it like a business, and he's going to get the most that he could get, not taking a pay cut. So JJ Watt speaks out, and that's the sad truth about the situation. But the thing about this situation with TJ Watt is it could get a lot more messy. And if it does get a lot more messy, I'll make a video down the road about it. But currently, it's still OTAs. It's still voluntary workouts. So the top players don't need to show up. It's not mandatory. There's not no fines yet or nothing like that. Now, a month from now, when it starts getting mandatory, if he skips out on that, then it's going to start getting messy. But DK Metcalf hasn't even showed up yet for OTAs. So he may be dealing with a situation we don't know about, but he hasn't showed up and TJ Watt hasn't showed up. So it's not that big of a deal as of right now. Obviously, other players who are veterans like Cameron Hayward, Darius Slay, who's in 35, 36 years old, they've showed up. So you would like to see TJ Watt there, but it's not that big of a deal at this point. It's getting actually more reps and more practice in for the backups and for the guys who are younger, and Jack Sawyer and things of that nature. But if it goes and holds on for too long, then it could start being a problem. But anyway, I'm going to go read you what Mark Kaboly of The Athletic said about TJ Watt. And apparently, the Pittsburgh Steelers have actually gave TJ Watt a contract offer, but TJ Watt is not happy about it, and it's not good enough. So here's what Mark Kaboly said. There is an offer on the table. I just assume since he's not signing, if it's terms, years, or guarantees, something is holding you up, and it's probably just the amount. I think the guaranteed money is much more important than the length of the deal. End quote. So that's the Pittsburgh Steelers top insider saying that the Steelers have actually offered him a contract, but to TJ Watt, it's not good enough. And that's basically the reason why he's holding out. And until that offer gets better, until that contract is signed, he's not going to want to get injured in camp and show up and get injured. No, he's not going to want to do that. He actually may do what he did, if you remember, years ago when he held out for his first contract. And what did he do? He actually showed up to camp, but didn't work out. He was just on the side. And why did he do that? Well, he didn't get fined because he showed up to the building. He showed up to work. So he may do that again this season and not get fined because of it. So TJ Watt, there's a contract on the table, not good enough, and he's missing OTAs right now. But in terms of mandatory minicamp coming up shortly, we're going to have to wait and see on that. But when you look at TJ Watt, I believe he's always been treated good by the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. It's not like one of these players who always have to take a pay cut and he's been treated poorly by the team. No, that has not been the case with TJ Watt. So it's interesting to see why JJ Watt has continually said that basically he hasn't. Because when you look at TJ Watt, he was given the highest paid player on the defensive side of the ball years back when he signed his first contract extension. And he was given all that money, given all those guarantees. He was given what he wanted the first time around. So this is only the second time around. So how could he be treated any less poorly? It doesn't make sense. And if he gets paid to the amount that he wants to get paid, he's still being treated good by the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. He's only getting older, so you have to assume and kind of look at, can he still provide value going on to his later years? Anyway, you want to pay someone for what they've done in the past, and they're not going to do that in the future. But I still believe TJ Watt will get paid because he's still, 31 years old. Anyway, that's TJ Watt's situation. Now, let's move over to the second part of this video. It's not that big of a deal, but the Pittsburgh Steelers have cut a player from their roster, and his name is Blake Mangelson. He's a defensive end. And the reason why I'm covering this release is because it's just an update video on the roster as well. Don't want to make a separate video on it, so I might as well throw this in at the end of this video. Blake Mangelson was a player the Pittsburgh Steelers signed as an undrafted free agent following the draft, and it was announced by his agent on April 28th and made official several days later. He was around for rookie minicamp as well as the first week of OTA sessions, but he will not now be looking for a job once again as he's a free agent. He also accepted a rookie minicamp invite to the Minnesota Vikings, but canceled once the Steelers extended a contract offer. So now it's going to be interesting to see if he even gets the opportunity with the Vikings once again. But Mangelson, he was a BYU, 82 total tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, and 4 pass defense, including 1 big man interception in 4 seasons with them. And he stands at 6'5", 279 pounds. But he's released by the team, and he's no longer here. So this once again opens up a roster spot for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And whenever there's a roster spot that opens up, fans go crazy thinking that A-Rod is going to sign with the team. But usually it's not, and it's just a different player. So when that roster spot gets filled and we sign a different player to the team, I'll make an introduction video to them. But anyway, this is the Pittsburgh Steelers updates on TJ Watt and his contract situation, what JJ Watt said about it, his brother, and also an update video on the roster. Release, wave of defensive end, Blake Mangelson. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below about both topics. Do you believe that this TJ Watt contract situation is getting messy? And what are your thoughts on JJ's comments? Also, what are your thoughts on Blake Mangelson getting released by the team? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis reports, everything surrounding this football team I've covered this offseason. I'll continue covering it as the offseason goes along. I've covered all OTA highlights. They're on the channel. And when OTAs kick off and start up again next week, I'll cover all the highlights and analysis with that week as well. So stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn notifications for this channel. Comment down below. And until the next video, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.